After being exposed for lip-syncing, the top-tier celebrity issued an apology statement. And I, forgetting to switch accounts, passionately commented, "Buddy, you've got the
Format wrong.
The first line isn't indented. The body should be in Simpson size 3, with a fixed line spacing of 28, and don't forget the official seal." The celebrity, infuriated, threatened to have me, this obscure 18-line artist, blacklisted across the internet, asking if I was afraid. I was taken aback. Afraid of what? I had just successfully passed the civil service exam. When we crossed paths again at a tax inspection seminar in the entertainment industry, I was the sole speaker on stage. I waved to the visibly pale-faced celebrity in the audience, saying, "Hi bro, long time no see." On the day I participated in the Versatile Star show, Shui Ran's fans mercilessly criticized me, sending me trending on social media. Why is she back again? She's truly a haunting presence. How many times is this now? This shameless woman is just taking advantage of my brother's kindness, clinging to resources, and riding the wave of popularity. She has no shame. I couldn't help but laugh at these foolish remarks. It was indeed true that Shui Ran had specifically requested my presence on the show, but the motive was purely for revenge. Ever since I forgot to switch accounts and commented on his apology for lip-syncing, he had developed a deep-seated hatred for me. Not only did his internationally renowned director father blacklist all my resources, but his company also forced me to appear in various shows where he was the main guest, bullying and tormenting me in every possible way. Yet, this man was a master of performance before his fans. He graciously claimed to hold no grudges against me, showering me with compliments and feigning to introduce me to resources, inciting his legion of female fans to loathe me, hurling insults such as calculating gold digger and desperate for a man. As Shui Ran just arrived on set, he noticed these comments and delightfully curled his lips, making a slitting gesture across his throat, silently threatening, "You wretched woman. This is the consequence of offending me." After this, he crossed his arms, waiting for me to display a look of rage and helpless humiliation. This had become his favorite game over the past 3 months. At that moment, photographers spotted him at the entrance and eagerly directed their cameras toward the sizzling hot celebrity, naturally cutting me out of the frame. I stepped behind the camera, flashed him a smile, and silently mouthed, "Go to hell, you big fool." Shui Ran's pupils trembled with fury, the pent-up rage almost bursting forth from his reddened eyes. However, the host had already handed over the microphone, prompting him to greet the fans before the screen, compelling him to suppress his emotions. Witnessing his struggle to maintain a forced smile, despite the evident pain, brought me a sense of satisfaction. Did he really think I was the powerless soft persimmon at his mercy? He was sorely mistaken. Just a minute ago, I had received the acceptance notice from the tax bureau, successfully securing my position. If he dared to employ his usual tactics of workplace bullying today, I would not hesitate to enlighten him on the meaning of consequences. 10 minutes later, the warm-up for the program concluded, and the recording officially commenced. The Versatile Star Show is a celebrity skit program where stars are grouped and draw lots, taking on corresponding roles in specific scenarios. Shui Ran's group drew the topic when a subordinate brings a gift to their promoted leader, but the leader insists the subordinate take it back. How should one respond? I was merely a background character holding the draw box, yet certain individuals insisted on provoking me. With a glance from Shui Ran, the director immediately understood and shifted the camera to me. "Mo Xingxing has been quite popular online lately. Many say you are the chosen one for bureaucratic positions. Surely, you can handle this workplace scenario effortlessly?" As he pushed me toward Shui Ran, the audience erupted in laughter. What does she know about the workplace? A mediocre star who has floundered for 7 years. Perhaps her earlier comment was simply copied and pasted. How ridiculous to force a narrative of a Shandong civil servant awakening. Exactly. With her luck, civil service? More like grilling skewers. The barrage of malice from the audience threatened to overflow the screen, as if I were a sinner against divine law. Yet, when Shui Ran issued his apology statement, I had been preparing for the national examination. Upon seeing his erroneous statement, I instinctively pointed out several formatting issues based on official standards. Although I had apologized numerous times, Shui Ran's fans relentlessly harassed me. They cursed me daily on my Weibo, even sending blood letters and ominous images, turning my life into chaos. Meanwhile, the architect of my woes, Shui Ran, stood with crossed arms, confident I would capitulate. Previously, the company had repeatedly threatened me with contract termination if I did not comply with Shui Ran's wishes. He believed he had me, this humble worker, firmly in his grasp. My earlier provocation was likely seen as a mere struggle of a dying insect in his eyes. I licked my lips and nodded. All right. After all, Playing along was something anyone could do. How could I disappoint him, given his eagerness to confront me? The director, brimming with excitement, thrust a prop gift box into my hands, and all cameras zoomed in on me.
Cut.
I grasped the gift box and walked toward Shuiran, who immediately seized the opportunity to attack, his face darkening. Take it back. Just as I was about to respond, he raised his hand and slammed the box against me, pretending to act out the scene. Hurry and take it back. I have no need for such things. The sharp edge of the box grazed my ankle, leaving a deep mark. Yet, everyone feigned ignorance, urging me to continue the scene. Shuiran, with malicious intent, continued to cue me. Such situations are common in the workplace. Xing, please teach everyone how to handle it. I glanced at my bleeding ankle, contemplated for a second, and concluded that today, the only path forward was to repay blood with blood. As Confucius once said, when one can endure no longer, there is no need to endure. Today, Xing would add, a curse allows the sea to be vast, a beating extends life. I narrowed my eyes and smiled at him. Really want to learn? Unaware of the impending danger, Shuiran licked his lips, a hint of excitement in his eyes. Of course. The audience is waiting. All right, you want a workplace demonstration?
Do you?
Today, let me teach you what it means to rectify the workplace. With that, amidst the incredulous gazes of everyone, I seized the gift box and delivered a resounding slap across Shuiran's face. Shuiran's face twisted to the side from my strike, and he instinctively began to shout, "I damn your grandpa," only to receive another swift slap from me, further distorting his expression. My grandpa is your great ancestor. Do you think you can just curse him? Truly a lazy donkey who doesn't know when to shut up. I continued to strike while reciting my lines. You think you can take this? I might as well feed it to the dogs. Now you know how to handle it, you foolish fool. How diligent I was. I was quite pleased with my performance. However, those present did not share my sentiment. The director's eyes nearly bulged out of their sockets. What did you say? Repeat that. I roll my eyes. I can repeat it as many times as you like. If you want to hear it, I'll have someone carve it on your tombstone tomorrow, so you can see it from both heaven and earth. This nearly sent the old man into a fit, holding onto the wall as he struggled to breathe. But I had no time to care about whether he lived or died. I turned to face the row of cameras and flashed a perfect smile, revealing all 8 of my teeth. In the previous scenario, I portrayed a haut's subordinate rectifying the workplace, adopting my mother's dialect, Sichuanese, to resonate with my character. I hope that in the future, when facing workplace bullying, everyone will no longer endure, but bravely retaliate. Today, my part in the recording concludes. Thank you all.
Cut.
After saying this, I clapped my hands, picked up my coat, and turned to leave the recording studio.
Stop.
Shuiran, still dazed from my slap, finally regained his senses. His eyes bloodshot as he touched the blood trickling from his mouth, his expression twisted with rage, as if he would tear me apart at any moment. He indeed attempted to retaliate, but in the next second, I deftly countered, pinning his head and mouth to the ground, rubbing it against the floor. What a foolish fool. He should have inquired about his opponent before stepping into the ring. My father was, after all, a martial arts star. Could he truly think he could best me so easily? My live broadcast of beating Shuiran quickly dominated the headlines across major media outlets. Countless netizens flocked to witness the spectacle, as expected of the dual royal genes of Shandong and Sichuan. What a powerful display. Who was it that said Mo Xing was Shuiran's sycophant? Come out and face the music. Watch as Sister Mo rises to the occasion. Sister Mo perfectly embodies my work spirit. She's so wild, I love her. In an instant, I became the champion of justice and model against bullying, gaining tens of millions of followers in a single day, and that live stream was repeatedly watched, revered as a template for roasting people. But the twist came in an instant. That night, a video titled "Some Unremarkable Stars Backstage Sexual Harassment of a Male Top Star Rejected" suddenly circulated online. The setting was backstage at the Versatile Star show, where I, appearing coy, lunged into Shuiran's arms, only to be pushed away by him with a look of disgust. The accompanying text stated, I simply could not bear to witness the ugly face of a certain Mo surnamed star climbing the ranks on the backs of others. Here's a revelation. I am a staff member of the Versatile Star show, and I inadvertently captured this video. Mo Xing is far from a goddess against bullying, rather. She is a vengeful spirit for failing to ensnare Shuiran. Everyone, do not be deceived. When my manager, Sister Jia, angrily forwarded that video to me, it had already gone viral online. Our studio promptly released a statement clarifying that the video depicts a scene where the director requested you to accompany Shuiran for an audition. However, That very director unexpectedly emerged to assert that there was no such incident, claiming it was entirely your personal conduct, urging us not to shift the blame recklessly. Her face flushed with indignation. They are clearly setting you up, seeking retribution. I clicked on the video and discovered that the nearly 3-minute audition footage had been ruthlessly edited to feature only a few seconds of me making a bold advance, with Shui Ren coldly rejecting me, all captured from a surreptitious angle, coupled with the director's damning evidence. It seemed that nearly everyone was convinced. This revelation bore the weight of undeniable truth. In mere minutes, the vitriol directed at me surged to 999 comments.
Wow.
So this is the truth. I nearly fell for that manipulative vixen, Mo Xingxing. I can't believe I once supported you. It was all an act. And you resorted to workplace harassment. Disgusting. If she can't have him, she'll destroy him. This woman is truly malicious. Poor Shui Ran. Ladies, while she may not see our scorn here, let us flood her Weibo with our outrage. At the height of the public outcry against me, Shui Ran finally spoke out. He posted a photo of his facial injuries on Weibo, tagging me in 3 consecutive posts.
Montak Sing Sing.
Get out here.
Montak Sing Sing.
Get out here.
Montak Sing Sing.
Get out here. Simultaneously, he initiated a live stream where he appeared on screen with a face battered from my supposed assault, tears streaming down as he lamented. I initially did not wish to speak on this matter, as I did not want to tarnish the reputation of a young woman. However, Mo Xingxing has gone too far. After failing to seduce me, she harbors resentment. The earlier incident of lip-syncing was her deliberate attempt to gain attention and approach me. Now that I have rejected her advances, she has reduced me to this state, attempting to label me as a victim of workplace bullying. I had no choice but to come forward and clear my name. His heartfelt sobs elicited waves of sympathy from countless female fans, who perceived him as a pure-hearted victim of an oily woman's machinations. They flooded the comments with words of comfort and showered him with gifts. In just half an hour of his live stream, not only did he regain the 5 million followers lost from the lip-sync incident, but he also gained an additional 5 million. Well, it seems he has learned a new trick, mastering the art of evoking pity. I glanced at Weibo, where my private messages were inundated with demands for me to exit the entertainment industry, an endless stream. Seeing my gloomy demeanor, Jia hastily reassured me. It's precisely because of the last live incident that they are targeting you so fiercely. You must remain calm this time. Remain calm? Why should I engage in self-destructive behavior that only benefits others? I, who had already secured my exit from this industry, was certainly not one to act recklessly. I scrolled through a slew of mentions to find Shui Ran's post, entering the comment section with my fingers flying over the keyboard. Injured? Seek medical attention. Why tag me? Do you truly think of me as your father? I certainly do not acknowledge you as my brainless offspring. In the live stream, Shui Ran's expression turned as dark as the bottom of a pot, and he almost ground his teeth as he typed, Mo Xingxing, if you have the guts, don't hide behind your keyboard. Come face me in my live stream. He then sent me a connection request. His fans erupted in excitement, threatening to teach me a lesson if I dared to show up. I chuckled. Who would be teaching whom, after all? I opened my live stream account, deliberately changing my username before accepting the invitation. Thus, 3 seconds later, the 10 million viewers in the stream beheld Shui Ran connecting with an account named Shui Ran's Turtle Son, Don't Call Me Dad. When they realized it was me on the other side of the screen, laughter erupted. Haha, Mo Xingxing is truly a mastermind. If it weren't for the sexual harassment scandal, I'd be a fan. Indeed, she has become a top-tier spectacle in the entertainment industry, though she cannot cleanse her name. What a pity. Meanwhile, Shui Ran's fans were seething with rage. How shameless can this woman be, still so brazen after the sexual harassment claims? Sisters, let's annihilate this wretched creature. Shui Ran opened his mouth, ready to curse me, but I did not grant him that opportunity. As soon as the stream connected, I swiftly struck first. You seek me out just hours after our separation? Are you that starved for affection? Must you rush to acknowledge your father? All right then. I shall reluctantly grant you this wish. Speak up, turtle. What business do you have in seeking your father? The screen was immediately filled with curses, but I feigned ignorance. Shui Ran was ready to explode, but his assistant quickly restrained him, urging Brother Ran, let's stick to the main topic. Upon hearing this, Shui Ran's fury vanished, replaced by an eerie smile. You, Mo Xingxing, may lack decorum in your speech, but I, Shui Ran, am different. I adhere to the law and present evidence. You claimed I should go to the hospital? Let me tell you, not only did I go, but I also had the doctor provide a certificate. With that, he produced an injury report and thrust it before the camera. Mo Xingxing, we are no longer living in the era where you can call for violence with impunity. We are in a time governed by law. Do you understand what that means? It means that if you assault someone, you will face imprisonment. He slammed the table emphatically. I now possess sufficient evidence. I intend to sue you. His fans immediately joined in the uproar. Ha ha ha. Someone who is so arrogant is now about to become a legal figure. Truly hilarious. Others chimed in with legal knowledge. Intentional injury leading to minor injury carries a sentence of less than 3 years imprisonment. Look, she hasn't uttered a word. Surely she realizes her guilt and has surrendered. I indeed remained silent, but the reason was simple. I glanced at the viewer count, which stood at only 13 million, not nearly exhilarating enough. In a feud, the spectacle must be grand. Yet, Shui Ran interpreted my silence as fear, his expression swelling with pride. What's this? Afraid? Looking to plead for mercy? I regarded him with a blank expression, silently conveying my disdain. To him, however, this reaction likely signified acquiescence, and he immediately stood tall with arrogance. Here's the deal. If you kneel before me and kowtow 3 times while proclaiming Brother Shui, I was wrong. I might consider sparing you. What do you say? Word spread quickly that I was about to confront Shui Ran in the live stream, and the audience flocked in, causing the viewer count to skyrocket like a rocket. Only when the number surpassed 30 million did I finally sit up straight. It was time for retaliation. Oh, Turtle. Addressing your father as a brother? Your ancestors must be rolling in their graves from your lack of propriety. You want me to bow to you? Has something gone awry in your brain, causing you to spew such nonsense? How can one be so full of excrement? Shui Ran's eyes reddened with fury. You, what is this? When asking for your father, shouldn't you use respectful terms? Didn't your mother teach you? Even if she didn't, it's fine. Today, your father will personally educate you. You want to discuss the law? Fine. Let's first talk about why you didn't even glance at the additional clauses before signing the contract. As soon as I uttered the phrase additional clauses, Shui Ran's expression froze. I ignored him, pulling out the contract and flipping to the page detailing the exemption clause, thrusting it into the camera. Exemption clause. Article 8. This recording entails safety risks in the event of any accidents or incidents during the recording process. Party A and the other participating parties shall bear no legal responsibility. All consequences shall be fully borne by Party B. Did you understand that? Is the pig-faced Shui Ran too illiterate to comprehend? At this point, Shui Ran was utterly speechless. Ha! How could he not know that this clause was something he had specifically added to target me during the program? Now, however, it had been turned against him. The heavens do not spare anyone. The fans of Shui Ran were the first to react, unable to bear the sight of her being verbally assaulted without the ability to retaliate. They swiftly turned their ire towards me. Mo Biao, don't get too smug. Even if Shui Ran can't sue you for assault, your sexual harassment is an undeniable reality that you cannot wash away. Exactly. How dare you behave so lewdly even in the backstage of the show? I can only imagine how you bully our brother when no one is watching. You greasy, lecherous old woman, may you be struck by a car as you step outside. Shui Ran immediately seized upon that key phrase, her eyes sparkling with renewed vigor. Yes, I can sue you for sexual harassment. The entire production team was on his side. As long as everyone held steadfast to their claims, I would be burdened with the stigma of sexual harassment. Even if I didn't end up in prison, I would inevitably be forced to retreat from the industry under societal pressure. He truly had a well-crafted scheme. Unfortunately, he overestimated his own prowess while underestimating mine. This time, I could scarcely be bothered to engage further. Instead, I turned my tablet towards the screen and played a video. Although I had been unaware of what Shui Ran would attempt to do to me prior to the show, I had preemptively concealed a pinhole camera within the button of my shirt. Now, everything that transpired that day was presented clearly before everyone, shattering the facade of Shui Ran's lies. I smirked at the screen, watching as Shui Ran's face turned ashen. You concocted a story that I liked you? You are truly a shameless cockroach wearing a mask, with that face that looks horrid from every angle. A face that could scare away evil spirits if turned upside down. How could you claim sexual harassment? Even if I were to go to a May mountain and coax a monkey, I wouldn't set my sights on you. With a resounding bang, the opposing party exited the live stream. That scoundrel Shui Ran, unable to withstand the pressure, fled. I was immediately filled with rage. Initially, I had thought that after joining the public service, I would need to tread carefully in my words and actions. Seizing the moment, I intended to unleash my fury completely. Yet, he had been interrupted mid-attack. Infuriating. But before I could indulge in my sorrow, I was astonished by the soaring number of fans in the background. My previous confrontations with Shui Ran had already garnered me a considerable following, but this time, I gained nearly 20 million fans in a single day. Countless netizens chased after me to apologize, while simultaneously pressing Shui Ran to do the same. They labeled him a slanderer and a malicious man, demanding he come forth and explain himself. True to form, after 3 days of playing dead, Shui Ran once again issued a so-called apology statement. Just as he had previously claimed that the lip-syncing incident was forced upon him by the company, he now asserted that this incident was a ploy orchestrated by the production team and his agency, coercing him into compliance. He insinuated that my review was an attempt to ride the coattails of the heat, and my actions of live-streaming his beating led the company to consider this method of publicity, thus implicating him as an innocent victim. This twisted distortion of the truth, coupled with his pathetic attempt to garner sympathy, only served to amuse the netizens. The lip-syncing at your concert was arranged by your company, and now you're framing an innocent female artist. Again, it's your company's doing? Is the company your other father? How obediently you follow its commands. P.S. The father here refers to Mo Jia with this absurd statement. I must learn from Mo Jia and retort, this is a classic case of playing the fool while pretending to be the victim. Jia was thoroughly pleased with this turn of events. Your fan count is nearing 50 million, surpassing many top-tier stars. Now the company must think twice before taking liberties with you. She said with delight, they might even start to allocate resources to you preferentially. However, that very night, I received a contract for termination from the agency. Jia was nearly ready to flip the table in anger. Shui Ran's father is actually a major shareholder in our company. Not only did they fire you, but he's also out there threatening any company that dares to sign you, claiming it's a declaration of war against him. This is a disaster. That evening, Shui Ran called, brimming with arrogance. You shameless woman, how does it feel to be banned by the entire internet? Are you scared? Let me tell you. It's too late. This is the consequence of crossing your father and me. Without hesitation, I interrupted him. What a load of nonsense. I'm not afraid of your threats. I'm cautious with others, but you? Why should I fear you? Am I supposed to be terrified of your words? I've had my rabies vaccine. You, on the other hand, should be careful when you step outside. Don't open your mouth on the street, or you might just get carted away by the dog-catching squad. With that, I ended the call before he could retaliate. Although I was to report to the tax bureau in a few days and had initially planned to announce my retirement from the industry soon, I certainly wouldn't leave in such a cowardly manner. As I contemplated how to turn the tables, I noticed an announcement posted by Shui Ran's fan club. While no sensible netizen believed Shui Ran's apology statement, he indeed had a legion of fervent, brainless female fans. They were deeply sympathetic towards him and harbored intense hatred for me. Over the past few days, they had begun to orchestrate smear campaigns against me, claiming that my recent surge in popularity must have been the result of some hidden manipulation behind the scenes. They dug up information alleging that my skyrocketing resources were built upon the metaphorical corpses of Shui Ran. The most prominent of Shui Ran's fan accounts, Ronxin, even launched a direct attack on me. Is all this drama just to cash in on the entertainment industry? You act like a saint but are truly repulsive. If Mo Biao is as virtuous as she claims, why not retire and prove it? Some bystanders were swayed by her rhetoric. Indeed. I've been seeing Mo Xingxing all over the media lately. Something seems off. Gloating, she recently pinned an announcement, challenging me openly. If Mo Xingxing retires, our entire fan club will support her for a month. Even changing our name to Mo Dad is awesome. But the question is, does she dare? Ha! Soon after, Shui Ran's various fan clubs echoed her sentiments, altering their pinned announcements to match hers. Everyone assumed I would undoubtedly remain in the industry, believing the fan clubs were merely looking for opportunities to humiliate me and vent their frustrations. As I gazed at the neatly arranged announcements, I couldn't help but chuckle. It was as if just when I needed to relieve myself, someone handed me toilet paper. Quickly logging onto Weibo, I promptly issued a retirement statement. This bold move left Shui Ran's fans utterly bewildered. And 3 minutes later, as I shared and commented on each fan club's announcement, stating, I have retired, and I hope everyone fulfills their promises, they completely lost their minds. Did she really change her name? That was impossible. But not changing it? Yet. The words had already been spoken. How could they retract? After cursing me 1,000 times in their minds, They all began to feign ignorance. But the onlookers would not allow this. Anything that obstructed their enjoyment of the spectacle was considered a class enemy. They fervently tagged all relevant fan accounts, and Shui Ran himself. Stop pretending. You told Mo Xingxing to retire to prove herself, and now that she has, you're hiding like a turtle in its shell. How shameless. They say fans follow their idols. Could it be that this trick of hiding away is something they learned from her? Haha, I always said the fans of the lip-syncing male artist had no integrity. It becomes evident when they face a situation. With the flames of public scrutiny igniting once more around Shui Ran, the previously suppressed lip-syncing scandal threatened to resurface, infuriating his fans. However, fearing an escalation that would thrust Shui Ran back into the spotlight, they could only endure their humiliation and seek to survive. That day, Shui Ran's fan forums, super topics, and various fan accounts were all filled with my support materials, beautifully complemented by the phrase "Mo Dad is awesome," becoming a sensational topic that rocked the entertainment industry for months, dubbed the Mo Men incident. That day was a celebration for all the onlookers, who remarked, "Though Mo Jia has left the arena, the legends of your exploits will forever linger." She even took a moment before departing to deliver a final stab at Shui Ran, her withdrawal statement formatted with an indented first line, written in song font size 3, with a fixed line spacing of 28, and adorned with an official seal. I genuinely wept for her. Long live Mo Men. For 3 consecutive days, I indulged in the spectacle of Shui Ran's misfortunes online, and with a heart full of joy, I commenced my new position at a different organization. Given my status as the top scorer in the national examination and the leading candidate in the interview, my superiors held me in high esteem, which compelled me to dedicate myself to my work, gradually relegating Shui Ran to the recesses of my mind. I thought that since I had already withdrawn, our grievances had been settled, and I would likely never cross paths with him again. However, I underestimated his penchant for harboring grudges. A month later, Shui Ran's dormant Weibo account unexpectedly sprang to life, as he liked a post titled "Female Star Mo Xingxing Seen Disheveled at the Tax Bureau. Suspected of tax evasion and currently under investigation." That evening, the post skyrocketed to the top of the trending list, only to be shared with me by Sister Jia. I was bewildered. A blue and white shirt with jeans is considered disheveled? That's merely my humble attire as a public servant. When a colleague in uniform assisted me after I twisted my ankle, it felt as though they were forcibly detaining me for an interrogation. I was utterly at a loss. Nevertheless, my current identity demanded that I refrain from impulsive reactions and heated exchanges. I could only endure the silence. Yet, my silence emboldened the naysayers. Rumors online transformed into Mo Xingxing is confirmed to have committed tax evasion and is facing sentencing. I unleashed a flurry of silent punches into the air, swallowing my rage like biting down on a broken tooth. I endured and endured, until I could endure no more. Just as I prepared to accept my fate as a tarnished artist for life, an unexpected assignment arrived from above, instructing us to organize a tax seminar due to the increasing incidence of tax evasion among entertainers, which was causing a negative impact. Upon receiving the directive, my supervisor promptly summoned me to the office. "Xiao Mo, you are the only one in our department with experience as an artist, and you know the entertainment industry best. This task is entrusted to you." As I took the document, I was not surprised to find Shui Ran's name on the list of attendees. It seemed we were destined to meet again. 2 weeks later, the seminar commenced. For this formal occasion, my first appearance post-identity change, I had purchased a brand new suit. However, upon arriving at the venue, I encountered Shui Ran at the registration desk. Not wishing to cause a scene at the entrance, I immediately turned to evade him, only to be called out by him. "Oh, let me see who I've stumbled upon. It's the long-missing Mo Xingxing. I thought you had really gone off to work at a sewing machine? Why not clarify your situation since you didn't tea?" His companions, in good spirits, snickered at my expense. "She's already withdrawn. How can she clarify anything?" One of them disdainfully tugged at my suit. "Since you haven tea serve time, what are you doing here? Could it be that after withdrawing, you found it impossible to get by and are now working as a hotel staff member?" Shui Ran glanced at my attire with derision and scoffed. "Mo Xingxing, while you may have fallen to such depths due to your own actions, I am typically magnanimous and do not hold grudges. Why not plead with me? I could allow you to stay by my side as a personal assistant, fetching and carrying for me." Following this, they all burst into laughter. I was tempted to deliver a swift kick from my size 37 foot to his size 42 face. Yet I restrained myself with formidable professional decorum. Just then, a voice came through my earpiece, announcing that the presentation was about to begin, urging me to prepare backstage. With no desire to linger in his presence, I hurriedly retreated. Behind me, Shui Ran and his companions continued to mock me, their laughter echoing. No way. This woman really went backstage. Ha ha ha, she wouldn't he actually be working as a server, would she? How hilarious. I smirked. Shui Ran. I sincerely hope you can still find humor in this later. To amplify the impact, the seminar was broadcast live. With numerous stars in attendance, the viewership surged. As the camera panned over me, the comments section erupted. Am I seeing things? Is that Mo Xingxing? What is she doing here? Is she here to attend the meeting? But didn't she withdraw? Fans of Shui Ran, fueled by animosity, quickly began to stir the pot. Mo is regretting her decision. Crawling back with her tail between her legs.
Ha!
I told you, who can resist the allure of fame? However, doubts emerged swiftly. But she is seated in the front row? That's not a position for just anyone. Wait, what does the nameplate in front of her say? Squinting? Someone attempted to decipher it, main speaker, but it's blocked. I can't see. At that moment, the host, with exceptional enthusiasm, introduced now. Let us welcome the esteemed tax department professional, Mo Xingxing, to deliver today's lecture. Please give her a warm welcome. Amidst the astonished gazes of everyone, I rose and walked step by step to the podium. The comments section fell silent for a fleeting moment before erupting into chaos. What the hell? Mo Xingxing is the main speaker. What is happening? Someone slapped me awake. I must be hallucinating. Quick, harder. I paid no heed to the astonished stares, focusing intently on delivering my prepared speech, until a sharp voice interrupted my narrative. Shui Ran abruptly stood, his eyes ablaze with fury, glaring at me. On what grounds do you presume to be the main speaker? You are merely an ordinary actress. What qualifications do you have to lecture us on tax matters? You can't possibly expect me to believe that after just a few months, you've landed a public service role. At this, whispers began to circulate among the other celebrities in attendance, their disbelief palpable at the notion that a star who had recently graced their screens could suddenly transition into a government position. I set down my speech, allowing a smile to bloom as I gazed at the agitated Shui Ran below. Why can't I? The audience gasped in unison. Then, someone on the comment screen to the right interjected, wait, why does the name Mo Xingxing sound so familiar? Could it be the Mo Xingxing who topped the national examination this year? I recognize every word you've said, but when I try to piece them together, it makes no sense. Do you know what scoring 167 on the national examination means? If I managed that, my parents would praise me for being well-rounded. Mo Xingxing? Don't kid me. I refuse to believe it. I'd rather believe my rooster could lay eggs. I don't believe it. 10,086. It must be a coincidence. If she is the top scorer, I'll swallow an iPhone whole. I glanced at the frenzied comments, remaining silent. I simply opened my phone and projected my admission information onto the main screen. It's me. I am the Mo Xingxing who achieved a score of 167 on the written exam and ranked first in the interview, securing a position in the tax department.
So,
do I now have the qualifications to begin my presentation? The venue fell into a silence, so profound that the sound of a pin dropping could be heard. Everyone gaped, attempting to comprehend this astonishing and surreal revelation. Meanwhile, the comments section exploded in a frenzy. Vocal life at 167. Oh, goddess of academia. I humbly seek your fortuitous aura. Breathe in the good fortune for me. May I pass my provincial exam with flying colors. I too wish to partake. May I succeed in my national examination next year. Shui Ran despondently collapsed into a seat. The man beside him immediately offered his sycophantic consolation. Oh, what does being a mere civil servant matter? Your family's wealth and influence are vast. How could she possibly overshadow you, my esteemed Shui? Once this tempest passes, your father will surely secure you several major productions, and reviving your status as a top-tier celebrity will be but a matter of moments. A flicker of hope ignited in his eyes. After I completed my presentation, I cleared my throat. Today's lecture is officially titled A Public Enlightenment and Investigation on Taxation in the Entertainment Industry. The informative segment has concluded, and we shall now transition to the investigative portion. We have received several reports and have conducted thorough investigations into these claims. We now possess solid evidence of tax evasion by these individuals and are collaborating with the relevant authorities to effectuate arrests, serving as a cautionary example against such malfeasance. No sooner had I finished speaking than a list appeared on the screen. Shui Ran's name was glaringly among them. The doors of the venue swung open, and police officers, who had been waiting outside, stormed in. Ran was caught off guard and handcuffed. He instinctively protested. You dare arrest me? Do you even know who my father is? When he finds out, you will be in for it. I smiled as I switched to the next page of the list. Do not be hasty. Your father's company is currently under investigation for allegedly laundering money under the guise of film investments. You two should soon find yourselves sitting together, sewing on a sewing machine, enjoying familial bliss. This dire news stunned him into silence. His frantic attempts to break free from the handcuffs ceased. It was only as the police were about to escort him out that he suddenly turned back, a fierce snarl on his lips. It's you. You're retaliating against me for what happened before. I will have my revenge on you, you wretched person. From where he found the strength, I cannot say. But he surged forward, shoving aside the officer in front of him, lunging at me and gripping my ankle with a desperate intensity, as if intending to drag me down with him. However, he was swiftly subdued by the pursuing officers once more. I met his resentful gaze with a silent, cold smile. You are mistaken. This matter has nothing to do with me. Your current predicament is a direct result of your insatiable greed and the consequences of your actions. As a public figure, enjoying the adoration of countless individuals and a superior income, how dare you not set an example, but instead lead in lawlessness? What makes you think you could remain unscathed? I bent down, prying apart his trembling fingers one by one. The rest of your arguments you may present to the judge. Ran fell despondently to the ground, dragged away by the police. Tears streamed down his face as he helplessly sought assistance from everyone present, yet not a soul offered him an ounce of sympathy. He and his father not only faced exorbitant fines but would soon confront the judgment of the law. This was their due punishment. The end of the text. Thank you for listening. Until we meet again in the next story.